Hello, sisters. Welcome to your Queen online course. We are so pleased to have you join us for this series, the first of 2017, and we're going to share a few of the particulars of this course that you'll be taking. We have completely revamped for this year. This new series includes some all new, fresh wisdom that we have gleaned from talking with literally hundreds of women over the last few years, your brilliant sisters, and my own personal insights into sovereign power and what specifically empowers women in a very practical way for use in daily life. This is an all new format of video compared to the last series, which was strictly written material. In a moment, we're going to share a little bit about what each class entails. This represents 20 years of my life work, researching personally into women's power. So we're going to ask everyone who takes the class to sign a waiver indicating that you will not share the links with anyone who has not signed up for the class, and that when discussing what you have learned from us, that you mention where you learned it, because a good queen never erases her teachers. The fees from this class are donated directly to the Goddess Temple of Orange County, a 501c3 charity. So your class fees are tax deductible as allowed by law. Each class has suggested many rituals and ceremonies that you can do at home using just simple items that you have on hand, nothing special to buy. And each class has a section for journaling for you to do on your own to get you started on your personal inquiry of what the Queen means to you. And if you have not journaled as a means of personal insight and self-discovery, I urge you to try it. It's very, very revealing, and it's a fast-track way to your own personal deep power. Also, with each chapter packet, you'll receive a printed color inspirational prayer affirmation that you can post in your home or wherever you like to remind you of your sovereign power. So be sure to ritualize your classes in your own way. Perhaps have a special libation to enjoy as you watch each new class video. Perhaps the Empress brand tea in a fine teacup. I like that Empress brand. There's also a Lady Jane Grey that is very, very nice. And you can find those brands at the supermarket. But please don't put it in one of those mugs that says Queen of Everything, because no one is. And those mugs are stupid. Those mugs and pillows are just stupid. And they trivialize what we're doing here. This is serious stuff. So have something that truly means queen to you. I have some beautiful teacups that I use for coffee and tea, and I only use them when I'm actually learning something new for women's empowerment. And these small details may seem trivial perhaps, but they are important tools to help train your mind that we are in wisdom absorption mode right now. So get those neurons firing together and use a beautiful teacup for your coffee or tea. Also, please use a beautiful pen to journal and write. You will receive a lovely golden pen with your intro packet if you're signed up for the class, and you'll receive that in the mail soon. Never let anyone see you write with a cheap plastic pen. Throw them all out. No more ugly, cheap plastic pens in the vicinity. I am on a mission. You are queen. Your words are sacred. Watch your class in a sacred way, writing and journaling your questions in a sacred way. Use a beautiful gold pen and have that be something that you do to honor yourself. Also honor yourself by not trying to multitask as you're watching the video. It's very tempting, I know, multitasking, but the Queen is mindful. So honor yourself by turning your phone and your instant messaging off, and anything that will distract you. In taking this class, you are interested only in your personal empowerment now. Not what kind of muffin some Facebook friend you've never met is having at Starbucks right now. Who cares? Okay. So the links to the chapters will come by email to you every 1 or 2 weeks, but go at your own pace. You can save chapters up and do them 2 or 3 at a time if you need to, and the links will be good for the duration of the class. After that, you'll need to check with us personally to access a particular class if you somehow missed one, and that's fine. You can go back and catch one up. In the past, we have sent the next class when you as an individual completed the previous one, but this time we'll keep things moving along by sending each new chapter about once a week or every 2 weeks. Some chapters are longer than others and require more time for you to digest, so we'll give you a little bit more time for those that are a little bit longer. At the end of the course, when you indicate to us that you have completed the work, you will receive a suitable for framing, as they say, parchment certificate that indicates that you have completed this course of study. And you can post that in your office with your other certificates and accolades and achievements to indicate that you now have a really, really good, deep understanding of the Queen archetype. So let's talk a little bit about the overview of chapters. In the first class, You Are Queen, you'll receive a broad overview of the Queen archetype, and this information is found nowhere else on Earth. It's completely original to us. We talk about the 4 powers of woman: the maiden, the mother, the queen, and the wise woman. We talk about the demonization of the queen in patriarchy. We talk about the queen's laws of life. And we talk about the spiritually correct stance of men, because there is one. And for now, just let your own brilliant subconscious mull over your thoughts, your own thoughts about the Queen archetype and what she means for you. In class 2, the 4 powers of woman, we go into greater depth talking about the 4 aspects, including, of course, the queen, and we describe why and how a woman has to have her queen operating as governor to the other 3 aspects. And also provided is an overview of a few of the queenly qualities, powers, and roles, which you might find very interesting. Class 3 is the queen as the architect of life. And in class 3, we discuss how the queen builds her life and realm. Her realm is everything that she is 100% responsible for. How she builds her life and realm on a foundation of very particular laws. And we discuss what it means for a woman's queen aspect to serve as the visionary for her realm. We share ways in which a queenly woman can best design and manifest her vision. And also covered in this rather big chapter are the topics of societal beliefs and how they can derail a woman's manifestation, what a queen's magic is, and how to create really effective and workable affirmations. And to wrap up, some practical tips on what to do when experiencing fear. So for now, just let your subconscious begin to think about what your most important mission is in life, why you are here on the planet, as we say, what is wildly important to you. I stole that from Cal Newport of Deep Work. In the 4th class, The Sovereign, we discuss what it means to be sovereign, truly sovereign in your own life, and the ways in which your queen aspect acts as your life's sacred administrator. We discuss the queen's power of integration and the great importance of authority with responsibility. Most women are operating with a great deal of responsibility and very little authority. And authority and responsibility need to go together always. And we show ways in which you can recognize when that's not happening and how to change it. We talk about what to do with situations of overwhelm and how to handle plots and projections, because for every woman who actually operates as queen in her own life, there will be plots and projections, no question about it. And it's kind of interesting and fun to look at what those are all about and how to handle them in a queenly way. It's something every woman who is queen in her life must eventually deal with. So for now, just think about overwhelm and how it applies to your life. And if you're one of the very fortunate of you who have no feeling of overwhelm in your life, then consider overwhelm as a problem for women in general in the world, and what you would like to do about it. Because as we go along, we'll be asking you to share your own wisdom. That's partly how I learn and absorb new wisdom to share with future classes. So your interaction in this class actually changes and affects future classes. They get better and better. Class 5, the queenly presence. In this culture, we are not accustomed, for the most part, to women standing in their queenly power. And because we are far more accustomed to relating to the mother aspect of woman, the nature of the queen can seem strange to us or off-putting. She's very impersonal. In large part, we women have permitted men in our culture to take on many of the qualities of the queen archetype, qualities that originally belonged to woman, and now we call them exclusively male. This is completely false teaching and something we really just blow apart in the Queen Online course. So in Class 5, we go into greater depth on the essence of the queen, the nature of her presence, with a capital P. In this way, we accustom ourselves to accepting these behaviors, which are thought of as male, wrongly thought of as male in our culture. We accept them as behaviors that are natural, right, and good for women who are leading their realms as queens. Also covered in this chapter are the queen's qualities of impersonality, self-esteem, dignity, confidence, and self-discipline. So for now, while you're waiting for your first class to arrive, consider your own self-confidence and how it stands for you now in your life. Class 6 is on the leader. The queen aspect is the leadership aspect of woman. The power of the queen is missing or reduced in many, if not most women in patriarchy, which is why women are not leading the world right now for the good of all. So in Class 6, we delve into specifics as to how the queen leads the group. How the queen leads the group is very different from the way in which most men lead, and very different from the ways in which we've been trained in this culture to lead others. The queen aspect is also the speaker for woman. So we discuss the nature of the way in which the queen communicates. So for now, allow your subconscious to consider the ways in which you communicate now and the ways in which you lead. And if you do not consider yourself a leader, sometimes I have women tell me that they are not a leader. I would ask you to consider the possibility that we are always leading by example, just by how we live our lives in front of others. It's my belief that every woman is a leader somehow of someone. Class 7, this is an important one. The receiver of all that is good. Without a queen, a woman will provide endlessly for others, taking nothing for herself. In Class 7, we discuss how the queen aspect completes the cycle of giving and receiving that is started by the hardworking mother aspect of a woman. And the queen is also the acknowledger for her realm, and she understands the power of gratitude and how to use it in very specific, magical ways to manifest more goodness. For now, consider if you are more of a giver or a receiver, because to their detriment, most women are far more givers than they are receivers. And for this section, you'll want to get yourself some beautiful stationery, because there is a ritual involving lovely stationery that you'll want to do. Class 8, we talk about the imbalances, how the 4 archetypes can tip over. They're healthy and perfect in and of themselves, but if you stay in any one aspect for too long, it will tip over into imbalance. So in Class 8, we go into greater depth about the ways in which imbalance shows up in all the types, including the queen. And this will be an opportunity for you to see for yourself where you may be showing imbalance in your own life and how you can let the queen help you empower yourself. The queen in relationship is Class 9, And in this class, this is a huge, huge topic, obviously. And so we just touch briefly on how your queen aspect interacts with men, with family and friends. If you are interested in this in greater depth, we will be giving a Queen Convocation in 2017 at the Museum and Temple. So that'll be coming up in 2017. So be looking for that in your email. Every convocation includes its classroom style, and it includes snacks and lunch, the teachings, an interactive ritual, and a lot more. They're really, really fun. We just laugh all day long at the amazing information that comes forward. Class 10 is the Queen's person. Listen, the Queen is not the frazzled one. I'm frazzled a lot in my life, and I always remember that when I'm becoming frazzled. Oh, the Queen is not the frazzled one. Let's take a look at what's really happening here. In Class 10, we discuss the body, health, and beauty of the Queen in you, and beauty can look many, many different ways. Doesn't have a specific way of looking, but it has some specific aspects to it that are common to every queen. We describe what the first rule of the queen is, because there is one, and we talk about the ways that people secretly judge a woman who is very out of shape in many ways, and I'm not talking about just physically, I'm talking about other ways. Also, we'll be sharing what an ideal daily self-care routine could be for every woman who would be queen of her realm. And this information, like the information about relationship, is also covered in greater depth in a Queen Convocation that we'll be holding later on. Perhaps many women are asking for another cruise. We've had so much fun on cruises, Queen cruises, that go down the Mexican Riviera. And so we might be taking a cruise, and it's really tons of fun. I really enjoy those. Class 11, the Queen's Palace. In this class, we discuss the nature of house and home for the queenly woman. And women love this class because women understand that your home is your second body. Your body is your first body, but your home in Feng Shui is your second body. And so how you live in your body is very important. That's the self-care of your body. And how you live in your home is very nearly as important. So we'll give some fun and fascinating tips on how to live like a queen in your own home. And the final chapter is Class 12, the Queen's Treasure. I always say women are the very seat of abundance. All goodness comes from us. So why, the world over, are women the poor ones? Are women and children the poor ones? Because the Queen is missing in so many women. But not for long. Not for long, sisters. The Queen is the wealthy one, the keeper of the key to the storehouse of the land. In this class, we talk about the queenly perspective on wealth and how to manifest it. And that does not necessarily mean being a multimillionaire. It means being able to manifest a consistent amount of money and resources to make your life joyful, easy, graceful, and happy. We also discuss the Queen's noble purpose, which is her work, her career, her service. And most importantly, what the Queen's work really is, not what her daily occupation may currently be, what the Queen's work really, really is. So that's the overview of the 12 chapters. Lots of fun coming up for all of us. I know I'm going to learn a lot from you, and so please share as you have the opportunity to share. Every month you'll have a chance to personally ask me a question on the material, how it relates to your life, what you can do in a particular situation, anything you like. You can ask anything you like. That'll help us make the wisdom more valuable for you in your personal life. I would like to thank the women in my past and present who have served as colleagues and teachers and friends and foremothers and visionary queens, women from whom I have learned so much. Remember, the good queen never erases her teachers. She always shares. I cannot name all of them, but I will say Gloria Steinem, Alison Armstrong, Ruth Barrett, Vajra Ma, Karen Tate, Z Budapest, Monica Sue, Merlin Stone, Vicki Noble, and of course, many, many others. Thank you, brilliant women. So sisters, your intro packet is on its way. It'll be mailed to you within 48 hours. So be looking for that in your mailbox if you are registered for the class. This will be coming with your Queen Teachings binder. It'll be coming with a golden pen and a prayer to post in your house, and some pages that will get you started, and then the video. So for this first week, until you have received that in the mail, mull over how you feel about the Queen archetype, what she means to you, and how your own Queen lives inside you. I think these next few weeks are going to be enlightening and fun for us all. You know, all I want in the world is for every woman to be queen of her realm, because I believe that this is the fastest track to getting humanity back to some place of peace and prosperity. In ancient times, women were the queens. There were matriarchies and women ruled. Matriarchy is not the reverse of patriarchy. Matriarchy does not mean women ruling over men the same way men rule over women in a patriarchy. So we'll find out more about all of this. What we do know is that the good queen, and there actually is no other kind of queen. If you're a bad queen, you've lost the right to call yourself queen. There is no bad queen. You're just not a queen. So the good queen leads the people to goodness with her powers, with reverence for life and her other laws that we'll share in the class material. And she helps everyone. She helps her tribe, she helps her family, she helps herself, she helps the world live life as it was always meant to be. If you are seeing this video and you are not registered for the class, but you would like to, then please give us a call and we'll get you registered in the next 48 hours, and you can start the class with everyone else. Thank you, and talk to you soon.